Today's tutorial is going to be a very useful one for you. It's an incredibly easy to build and fast crop farm. These crop farms can do potatoes, carrots, wheat, and beetroot, which are great to use for many things, including villager trading. I'll show you two different versions which have different collection systems here. One that uses a hopper minecart that's set up down below, and another that uses an allay to gather the crops for you. To make building this farm easier, I have included the material list for both versions on your screen right now, and you can also download the world, structure files, and holoprint files through the link in the description below. If you enjoy these tutorials, help me break the YouTube algorithm by clicking the like button right now. It's down there, go click it, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started on the tutorial. Okay, so to get started out, we can do one of two things. You're either going to be doing the minecart collection method or the allay collection method. If you're doing the minecart collection method, you're going to start here. If you're going to do the allay collection method, you can skip this step. We're going to give ourselves some room down below. I'm going to go about 10 blocks above ground or something like that. And we are going to make a platform here. I do want to keep my center marked. That way I know where my center is. It's going to make things easier a little bit later. And we're going to make a platform that is 33 blocks wide by 33 blocks wide, meaning that from the center, we need to go 16 blocks out in each direction. And this is what you'll end up with, a 33 wide by 33 wide platform. We're going to take out this center block, but we want to keep the center marked. I'm actually just going to do one more block above because our next platform is going to go above here. Next, what I'm going to do is count 8 blocks over from one of the edges. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we are going to power this entire row right here. You could do that by either just replacing the whole row with redstone blocks like I'm about to do, or you can put levers underneath every block on the row and that will power it as well, because we're going to be putting powered rails here. I did that on one side. I'm going to do it on the other side as well. And now we do want a minecart unloader for our collection system. I'm not going to go super fancy with this. I'm going to keep it simple. And if you guys want fancy, you can make it fancier. I'm just going to go 1 block down and 2 blocks over from one of the corners here. You want to make sure that you're doing it in, like, I guess, perpendicular to your redstone lines here. That way, when we run our tracks, the tracks are running the right way. I'm going to put a temporary block right here. And I'm going to face a hopper into that and a hopper into that. I could take that block out. I'm going to put a temporary block here. I'm going to put a block right there and a block right there. Take out the temporary block, put a temporary block here and a permanent block right there. And then what I could do is I could put a comparator here, a torch here, a block on top of that torch, and then a redstone dust right here. And this is just going to be our minecart automatic unloader. We're going to put 2 powered rails right here and a regular rail right here. And then we're going to put however many chests we want down here. I'm going to put a temporary one right there, put this here, and then however many chests you think that you want, go ahead and put them down and then run hoppers down to all of them like so. And then now all you need to do is run all of your rails. You will go regular rails all the way to the point where you get to your powered rail area where your power is. And you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then run your regular rails all the way down. And then 1, 2, 3, and then run them down, loop them around this way, and then keep doing this and snake this rail system all the way until I think you'll end up at the opposite corner down there. All right, and then once you get to the end, go ahead and put a block right there, put a powered rail right here, and you can just power this block whatever way you want to. It's just going to stay powered permanently. And now, when we have a hopper minecart going through, it should be able to very easily and freely travel all the way through the farm area, and it will go all the way up and down, and then whatever stuff it has, it will drop off right here. Now your next step, regardless of what collection method that you're using, this is what you're going to do. You're going to get yourself some dirt, and you are going to put dirt blocks, either, if you have the rails, above all of the rails, and then you're going to border it with whatever block you want to. Or if you don't have this segment yet, so you don't even have a platform yet, you're going to go from the center spot right here, and you're going to count out 17 blocks in each direction. Let me show you what your final platform will look like. Okay, so now I have both versions of the farm sitting here. That way you guys can more easily keep up. Now, if you're going to use the minecart version, you don't need anything here in the middle. You don't even need to mark the middle anymore. You can put dirt there as well. If you're going to be doing the Allay collection version, this is what you need to do. You need to come to your center point. You need to count out 1, 2, 3 blocks each way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, like this. And go ahead and make yourself this border. Go ahead and knock out all of these middle blocks. And set yourself a little floor right here below. Knock out the middle. And then underneath here, place a temporary block here and place a chest right here and get your double chest set up for your collection system or whatever you're going to be doing for collection. Place a temporary block right here on top of this chest so you can face this hopper forward, face hoppers into the back of all this right here. And then go back topside, place a hopper right here in the middle and put a bucket of water right here on each side like so. And we probably want to keep our villager out of here. So you can surround this with fences or with a double wide wall, whatever you think you want to do. Okay, now to tell our Allay and the Allay collection version of this farm to bring everything here, we want to start out with a temporary block right here. We want to place a temporary block on top of this as well. Face one observer down looking into that. And then get underneath here and then face another observer looking up. If you can't quite get it, like I can't here, you might have to temporarily take out a block there, face the observer up, and then place that block back down. Now we want to place a either bone block or gold block here just to make our note block that we're going to use a little bit quieter. And when we place that down, you're going to see that it is going off. That's what the gold block sounds like. And here's what the bone block sounds like. Probably like that one a little bit better. And then if you find that extra annoying, you can go into settings, go to audio, go down to jukebox/note blocks and bring that volume level down to whatever you think is acceptable. Now we do want to keep our Allay from throwing items on top of here because then those items will be stuck. So we're actually going to take trap doors and we're going to put a trap door on each side of the note block here. And then we're going to go up another 1, 2, 3 on each side. Close all those down. And then you could put something on the top too if you want to. Now the Allay won't go higher than about right here to throw the items down. And those items, they'll just fall in here and they'll get sucked into the middle, which will be awesome. Now on your minecart collection system version, go ahead and take a lever, put it on the block that the redstone torch sits on, and then just flip that lever. That'll keep this system turned off. You can put your minecart down and leave it. And then whenever you're ready for the system to run and you want that minecart moving, you can just flip that lever on or off. And that will allow the system to be on or off for the collection. Next thing on either farm that you're going to want to do is set up your water sources. This is going to be super easy. Go to any corner of your farm and count in diagonally 1, 2, 3, 4. And on that 5th block, go ahead and knock that block out and put a stair down. Now from here, you're going to want to count up 9 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that 9th block, knock that out, put a stair. Do that in the other direction too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th block, put a stair. And then put a stair block where those two areas intersect. So we're gonna put one right here. Now we're gonna do that same thing from all 4 corners. And in doing that, you should have a grid laid out exactly like this. Go ahead and put water in all of these. This is your way of hydrating your farmland, so all of your crops are going to be able to grow. The next thing you're going to have to do, and have to do well, is figure out lighting in your farm. Now, I have a super good, hidden, easy solution for our farmland that's going to include the Allay collection system. But you can use what I'm going to do right here on either side. So above every single one of these water sources, go ahead and count up 1, 2, 3. And that third block needs to be a light. That light can be any light that emits like the highest light level 15. So if you have something like stream lights or sea lanterns or something like that, you could put those at that level. Or if you don't have those things, you could just simply do 2 blocks and a torch like that. But here's the thing, on one of these 2 blocks that kind of sit in the middle, this is a even number, so there's not really necessarily a middle block. You're gonna have to have a light source here as well, because you need to make sure that your farmland has enough light to actually grow the crops. If you don't do this, you're gonna find that some areas of crops will not grow. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lay out the grid of lights that you're going to need up here. Okay, so when it comes to lighting, ultimately, again, the main thing is to make sure that you just have enough of it. And the further away the lights are, the more dense you have to place them. So you can kind of see the grid-like pattern that I used here. And then I have another example for this one over here. This way you're able to do, because you don't have the rail tracks, but I literally just hid them right underneath. It's a very similar grid pattern. I actually just made it more simple. It's like every 4th block, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, every 4th block in each direction, just a perfect grid all the way through. So once you get to this point, the next thing you're going to want to do, and you're going to want to do this before you bring a villager in, is you're going to want to till all of the land and plant all of your crop type. And as far as the crops are concerned, I think I've said this earlier, I'm going to say it again. You could put any of the 4 types of crops in here. So potatoes, carrots, wheat, or beetroot. There's going to be something special you have to do with the villagers for the wheat and the beetroot, but not for the carrot and potato. And whichever one you do, you only want that villager to have access to 1 crop. You don't want to do a row of potatoes and a row of carrots, because the villager's not going to keep up with that. He's just going to pick and plant whatever he wants, and eventually his inventory will fill with one of the 2 only, and then you'll just be left with just that 1 crop anyways. So you'll want to make sure you divide them. I'll show you how to do a divider here in just a little bit. But as for now, go ahead, till all the land, and then plant all of the crop type that you want to do. And I'm going to give you guys an example of one of each, a wheat, beetroot, and then a carrot or potato. Okay, so for either one of these, you're going to follow most of these steps. But let me give you the step if you do wheat or beetroot first. Before you bring this villager over to this area, you're going to want to do something. You're gonna have that villager already be a farmer. There we go. So we have our farmer villager. Come on. There we go. And I do need to give him enough seeds to fill his inventory, enough of the seeds that we're using, because if he empties out even 1 slot of his inventory, he will start filling it with wheat or beetroot, and eventually he will fill his whole inventory up, and then he will not be able to like hold any more seeds. So that's the main thing. It needs to be an empty villager. I have an empty villager breeder. Feel free to check it out. And he needs to have the seeds fill his whole inventory, which is 8 stacks. So I'm going to give him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You see, he has picked up all those. If I were to give him a 9th, you see, he will not pick that up. And then also, you need to trade, and this will be with either side, both sides. You need to trade with your villager 1 time to lock them in to being a farmer. So super simple. I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna trade with them once, and then that's it. We're all good. And then second, they don't need access to a bed, and they do not need access to their composter either. But there does need to be a bed nearby, and the bed has to be vertically within like 2 blocks of the villager. So in this one right here, they're probably going to have access to their bed unless you block it off somewhere. They just have to be close enough to it to detect it. So like I could just put a bed like right here and wall it off, would be perfectly fine. Because I don't need the villager to sleep. In fact, I would prefer him to not even want to stay close to his bed. Probably to the point where I would like the villager to stay center of farm as much as possible. I might go as far as saying what you want to do is have the bed like in here. And just like block it off so he can't sleep in it. We're gonna waste a few spots here, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. There, perfect. Oh, and this bed over here for the one that has like the Allay system, you can actually hide that one underground because we have the extra room down here. I can just come over here to the side, like right here, and just plop a bed right here, and we're good to go. So there we go. This villager, he's stuck over here with that bed, and then we'll have a villager over here that there's going to be a bed close by for him to be linked to. Again, we do need to take this guy, make him a farmer really quick, and then once he's a farmer, I might need to place a second one because of that villager over there. There we go. Once he's a farmer, go ahead and trade with him once, and then the profession block is no longer needed. So this side over here, if you're using the rail system, you're actually done. This side over here, we need one more thing. We need an Allay. And if we're going to have an Allay, it needs to be trapped in here because Allay like to run away. They like to go off to where they're not supposed to go. So I'm just going to build an enclosure. All right, so on the Allay side, and you see I do have it mostly blocked off. Looks like it would be able to escape right here. So I'm going to just close that off on all four sides. We should be good here now. So you're going to want to find and bring an Allay in. I have a guide video about that if you don't know how. You're going to want to give it a piece of wheat or a piece of beetroot, whichever one that you're growing. Now, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to speed up the game artificially here. And then you're going to see these crops start to grow. And what's going to happen is those villagers will start picking the crops. This guy's inventory is full, so he actually won't even be able to pick up anything. His inventory is full. So what's going to happen is all those things are just going to sit on the ground and be stuck there. Here, let's go ahead and turn this back down now. And then the Allay is going to run around and pick up the seeds or pick up the wheat. And the seeds, they're just going to sit there and eventually despawn. Although the villager will be picking up the seeds to replace the ones that he's using to replant. So that's the cycle. This Allay is just going to run around and pick up the wheat left on the ground by this villager who can no longer pick up wheat because his inventory is completely full. On this side right here, what's going to happen is this villager is going to pick potatoes, and it's actually going to pick all of the potatoes up into his inventory until he fills his inventory up. Of course, you can speed up this process by just giving him a bunch of potatoes if you have extra. But in this case, he'll fill up his inventory on his own. It's fine. It doesn't matter. He's going to keep going until his inventory is completely full. And then what will happen is our hopper minecart here, this thing will just continue to go around and it will pick up all the potatoes that this villager's leaving on the ground. I will even speed this process up for you really quick. There we go. His inventory is now full. So what's going to happen is he will pick up enough potatoes to replace whatever he plants, whatever he gets rid of to plant. But that's it. The rest, they're going to sit on the ground. And then this hopper minecart right here that's going around will pick all those potatoes up. And then when it makes its way back here, it will drop them all off and it will stay here in the spot until they are all in the chest. All right, and here we go. Here comes our cart full of potatoes.
Potatoes.
And it did not want to stop. Sometimes it does skip. I don't know what exactly causes that to happen, but most of the time it will stay in here. And as you can see, it is being unloaded into the chest. And then what will happen is once it's finished unloading, it will then go back on its way. Same thing over here. Our Allay and our villager have been very hard at work. And we have lots of wheat coming through already. So these two farms, they're just going to infinitely produce for you. Now, the villagers will not work at nighttime. Keep that in mind. But otherwise, these guys will always be working and always be getting you all of your crops that you need. I told you I would show you what a divided farm looks like. Let me just do that really quick. And here we go. Super simple. I just put a wall down the middle. I have a villager on the other side. We have carrots over here, potatoes over there. Everything else is the same. That's it. You could divide this up another way if you wanted to. I could have 4 and I could have potatoes on one, carrots on another, and beetroot on one and wheat on another. Like I could have 4 of them. It's going to be the same either way, no matter what. And just make it so this guy can't get to this side and this guy can't get to this side and they can't throw anything to each other. Those are the important bits. Beyond that, you could do this other farm the exact same way. Only difference being you're going to need one Allay for each type of crop that needs to be picked up. So you would have an Allay for potato, an Allay for carrot, an Allay for wheat, an Allay for beetroot. And even in here, if I wanted to get the seeds, I could bring in a second Allay and give him seeds in his hand. He'll get the seeds as well. And I mean, that's pretty much it. Some people are going to ask this. I've made tutorials in this before. Yes, you can include bees in here if you want to make the crops faster. Add in a bee's nest, add in some flowers, and the bees, they'll fly around and bone meal the crops, and they'll grow even quicker. You probably can't make this too much bigger than this, or the villagers may not wander far enough around to pick all the crops. So I would not go larger size than this, at least not too much larger. Of course, you can make it any size smaller than this you want to, or you could stack a whole bunch of these. I could build 4 of these big ones all beside each other and have 4 huge crop farms, or 6 or 8, however many I want to, as long as they're within distance to be loaded when I'm in the area. That's it. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, there's a like button down there. Click it to let YouTube and me know that you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of them. Also, subscribe to the channel. I am cranking out tons of tutorials, news, information, guides, modded, add-on, like Bedrock stuff. You name it, we're doing it all here, and I would love for you guys to be part of the journey. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.